I'd like to welcome you back to another one of Dale's Daily Devotionals. We're going to be talking to you today about the blame game. That's right. When we get into a pinch, we don't want to take the heat, so we blame somebody else. Genesis chapter 3, verses 11, 12, and 13 as we continue down this road of the descent of the fall of man. It says in Genesis chapter 3, 11, and he said, this being God, and he said, "Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat?" And the man said, now notice this, the man doesn't lie. He doesn't want to throw more perjury on top of things. So he just said, "The woman that you gave me to be with me, she gave me the tree and I ate it. It's your fault, God." And the woman goes, verse 13, she says, and God said to the woman, "What is this that thou hast done?" And she said, "The serpent, he beguiled me, he tricked me, and I ate." And the snake looks over and is like, uh-oh, ain't nobody else to blame here. Kind of reminds me of the Three Stooges kind of episode sometimes. But it's a blame game. What's the serpent do? My bad. They're busted. They're in the middle of the garden. They've done the deed. It's already happened. They've sewed fig leaves together. They're standing there. They're naked. They're scared to death because they know what had happened. And they knew what they had been told would happen if they partook of the fruit of the tree. So now they know they're doomed and they are scared. Why are they scared? Because it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of a living God. My friends, sometimes we get tempted to do something. And when we do, in the middle of that temptation, what happens? We blame someone else. Well, it's not my fault. So this happened. So I got some bad advice. It's not my fault. You are a free will moral agent. You have the opportunity to make decisions every single day, both good and bad. And unfortunately, we decide sometimes to make bad choices. And when we do, we must own up those choices, ask God to forgive us of those choices, and let him cleanse us of all of our unrighteousness. The problem is Adam and Eve was perfect. They were sinless. There was nothing they could have done except for one thing. That was it. Just one. The only goof up they could have made, and they did it. Well, you and I have a whole plethora of things that we can mess up, and most of the time we mess up many of them. Unfortunately, we continue to do those things. Those things are called sin. And God asks us to purge ourselves of sin, to become more like Christ, be able to get rid of those things out of our life. How do I do that? Well, I ask Jesus to forgive me. I ask him to make me more like him. I want to die out daily to this flesh so that I can be more like Christ. Here's the goal for every Christian that I believe that we should have. Let's stop blaming others for our problems. Let's start owning our own problems. Let's start putting the blame right here where it belongs. And let's take up our own blame and let's give that to God. Say, "God, I messed up. I'm sorry. Please help me to be more like you. I ask you that you would crucify my flesh that I might live to the Spirit and be more like you." That should be your prayer every day, folks. So stop blaming God or stop blaming everybody else for the things that's going on. Let's start taking actions for our own self, and let's believe God for a change in our lives. Amen? When you begin to do that, you're going to start taking ownership a lot quicker, and you're going to be able to see yourself get rid of that problem a whole lot sooner instead of blaming everybody else, because really your decisions are your decisions. No matter how hard somebody forces you or oppresses you, you still have the choice to come out fighting or go take off running. And I'm going to tell you, I would rather take off fighting. Let's finish this thing out. Let me finish my own battles. I'm going to win this battle all on my own, right? Because God loves us. Hey, you have a terrific day. May God bless you, keep you, and hold you up until the day that he calls us all home. So keep your eyes on those skies, because Jesus is coming really soon.